Hello, welcome to this short yoga practice. If you would like to come along with me and listen to the music, you can go ahead and start your Spotify playlist now. We're going to be focusing this practice on becoming familiar with warming up our body, our joints, getting ready for our practices. So we're going to start in a seated position, taking a couple of deep breaths and reaching the crown of the head up. See if you can lengthen your body, sitting up as straight as you possibly can. You could close your eyes or come into a soft gaze. Breathing in and out of through the nose. And we're going to open our eyes and bring our hands down on the thighs and just begin to sway from one side to the other. Warming up. Feeling into your neck as you look around the room. Let's bring it back to center. We're going to take our arms out and we're going to fall over onto one side, planting the hand firmly and then just letting the other hand be nice and soft. You could look up towards the sky, breathe. Pressing into the ground. Let's go to the other side, letting the arm be nice and soft. Just feeling into the spine and the ribs. Side bend. Bringing it back to center. We're going to take and rotate, bringing opposite hand over to the thigh or to the knee. Sitting up nice and straight, looking over your shoulder. And then if you like, holding that and then turning your head nice and slow so that you're looking over the other shoulder. Take some deep breaths here. Listen to your neck. Let's take a deep breath in, bring it back to center. We're going to go to the other side, looking over the back shoulder first. You can hold it here or looking the other direction, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring it back to center. We're going to come onto all fours. We're going to do cat-cow. So planting your fingers into the ground. If you need to, you could always pad your knees. If you like, you could curl your toes under or take the tops of your feet down to the mat. So drawing the navel into the spine, arch the upper back, press the mat away. Take a deep breath in. We're going to take the spine the other way, arch in the back, looking up. Taking some deep breaths here as you flow between angry cat and cow. Last one. We're going to uncurl our feet if they're curled. We're going to sit back onto our heels and notice if this feels okay to the front of your thighs and your knees. If you'd like, you could always come onto your knees to do some arm circles. So we're going to take the arms and keep them bent and just really pay attention to the range of motion in the shoulders. So you can have soft elbows and soft wrists. See if you can keep from arching the spine, so keeping your tail tucked, your core engaged. Nice and slow. When you're ready, you can go back and around. Inhale, exhale, nice slow circles. One more time around. Bring it over and onto all fours. We're going to begin to move one knee. And so you could shift your body weight over and lift up one knee and start to move that whole leg around. You could flex point the foot. And then when you're ready, we're going to step that foot between the hands and come into a lunge. So notice that my back knee is way back behind my hip. I'm opening up here. Option to bring your hands onto your thigh. Option to take them up to the sky. This is a balance pose, so finding a gaze point. Relax the jaw. Take a deep breath in. Slowly come back down. Bring your hands down. We're going to switch to the other leg. Breathing, moving nice and slow and controlled. Just looking for warming up the hip joint. When you're ready, taking that knee or the foot between the legs, coming forward. Noticing that the knee is back behind the hip, so we have a stretch in that front of that hip. You could bring your hands up to the thigh. You could stay here. You could bring your arms up. You could look up. Breathe. Don't let your head fall all the way back, keeping a little tuck in the chin. Find something to gaze at on the ceiling. Breathe. Bring the hands back down. We're going to take that leg to the back. We're going to sit back onto our heels and do some shoulder shrugs. So engaging the low belly, take your shoulders forward, up, and back and around. Feeling into our shoulder joints, connection between our arms and our spine. You could take it the other way. Okay, we're going to walk our hands back out. We're going to curl our toes and come into our downward dog, but we're going to keep our knees bent. So lifting the knees up, pressing back, you could step your feet wide. And then you might just slowly shift your body weight from one side to the other. Tailbone up into the sky. Downward facing dog. Breathe here. Now, if you like, you could slowly begin to straighten your legs maybe. Okay, we're going to bend our knees. We're going to walk our hands back towards our feet. You could let your belly relax on your thighs. And then we're going to tuck the tail and we're going to slowly come up. And we're going to do some spinal rolls. So you could turn your feet out just a little bit on the mat, maybe turn sideways. And then we're going to come down and then let the head fall. And then we're going to arch the spine. The head is the last thing to come up off the chest. Breathe here. Exhale down, maybe inhale up. Now reversing it when you're ready. So standing up, looking down first, letting your chin, your nose lead. So we look up to come up. Look down first. A couple more. Okay, when you're ready, bring it back to center. We're going to do some standing balance poses. If you would like to hold on to a chair or to hold on to the wall, you can feel free to do that. We're going to shift our body weight and we're going to take our foot over our thigh and we're going to come into just the leg crossing over. And then if you like, you could sit down into the chair here just a little bit. So sinking your hips back from the side, balancing. Pressing to rise. We're going to shift to the other foot, crossing over. Flexing the foot sometimes helps here. So sinking down, you could find your gaze down on the ground. Remember, you could hold on to a chair, hold on to the wall. And then slowly find your way back up. We're going to shift over. We're going to come into tree pose. This is our pose of the day, Vriksasana, and tree pose. So bringing the foot either here or above the knee. You could actually keep it down on the ground. Pose of the day, Vriksasana. I can't say that today for some reason. Tree pose, Vriksasana. Take some deep breaths here. Take a deep breath in and slowly let your arms descend. Switching to the other side, planting your foot, shifting your body weight. Wherever you did on the other side, you could do on this side. Breathe. Take a deep breath in, slowly bring it back down. Planting the foot, we're going to come into our mountain pose. You could close your eyes and feel deeply into your feet. Okay, we're going to slowly find our way down and onto the mat. Coming onto our back bodies, you could bring your knees into your chest. Give them a big hug. You could pick up your head, tuck your chin, and lower it back down. Notice lengthening through the back of the neck. You could take your feet, knees wide, feet up to the sky, flexing the feet, grabbing onto your shins, your ankles, the bottoms of the feet for happy baby. And if it feels okay, you could take it from one side to the other, just gently rocking the body. We're going to slowly bring those feet back down. Take them wide on the mat. And then take your knees from one side to the other. Windshield wipering them side to side. Okay, let's take our feet out nice and long. We're going to do a spinal twist from here. So shifting your body weight over onto one side. We're going to take the other leg over, touching the thigh, and then drawing it over and across the body. We want to try to keep our shoulders rooted down, and you could turn your head the opposite direction that your knee is traveling, and take some deep breaths here. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring it back to center. Switching to the other side, shifting over to the other side first. Foot comes to the thigh, drawing the leg over, reaching out, spinal twist. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring it back to center. We're going to bring our feet up into the air, and we're going to pin our back to the ground. And so I want you to see if you can press your low back into the floor. And from there, you could lift your shoulders and your head up and see if you can keep your head nice and long. And then we're going to begin to move the legs and the arms. And so this is a really good way to strengthen your core body without having to do crunches, right? Also helps to warm up and lubricate the joints, increase the mobility, just checking out your range of motion. If you reach out nice and big and your low back starts to come up, then you want to draw it back in. Breathing here. Take one more deep breath in. Slowly bring it back down. We're going to bring our knees into our chest and we're going to roll like a ball a couple of times. Now notice if this hurts your tailbone or if it feels tender to your pelvis, because you could always just come up instead of rolling. We're staying off of the head and the neck, just the back. And then slowly find your way up. And you can balance here maybe, if it doesn't hurt. Arms can come out. And then bringing yourself forward, the soles of the feet are going to touch, and we're going to sit up nice and straight, cobbler's pose. Could always grab onto your shins, your ankles, pressing the knees down and sitting up as straight as you can. You could close your eyes. Breathe. Then we're going to find our way into a cross-legged position for our final meditation. You could bring your hands to your thighs if you like. If you prefer to lay on the ground, you may do so. Just notice how your joints feel after this short yoga practice. Noticing if you're holding tension anywhere unnecessarily and letting that release. Being present here and now. You can stay here for as long as you want or are able. Bring your hands back together if you're coming along with me. Thank you for coming to your practice. Thank yourself. Namaste.